Welcome back to It's a Football Show. I'm Sam Heflin. To my left is Sean Whitney, and to his left is Justin Throngard.
Hello.
Merry
Back
Christmas.
again.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. And Merry... Well, it's really... I mean, it's pretty early for that.
Who's to say, at our pace, it could be January before we get another episode in.
Yeah,
so.
no. Well,
It's the Merry Christmas
if we miss
season.
you. I've got a Christmas playoff beard going. Playoffs started
That is
in
a nice
fantasy.
beard.
Yeah, it is.
Mighty.
Fitzpatrick cut his down, so I'm the leader right now.
You're winning.
I'm winning because
The beard
Kiesel's not
wars.
playing right now. I guess neither am I, so...
You're IR.
I'm on the permanent IR.
IR for life.
Did Fitzpatrick get a first round bye? Is that right?
No, I don't know what the... I guess when they benched him for... what's his name? The kid from Arkansas that has been in the NFL for 3 years but didn't get a start. Ryan Mallett. He shaved the beard. I mean, he's still got some growth there, but it's like he's bringing it back. It's not where it was as glorious and fantastic. That guy can grow a beard.
In protest.
It's probably more warmer in Houston than it is in... Well, I know it's more warmer in Houston than it is in Buffalo, so maybe he's like, this shit's hot.
His wife probably just told him to
Texas.
take it down.
Yeah.
Right now,
You're not a
11.
starting quarterback anymore,
Yeah.
honey. Shave your beard.
But yeah, but except for he is.
This has nothing to do with anything I was going to talk about. Did you see the press conference with him and his son?
No. Oh, I
math
heard
trick.
about it. I heard about
The
it.
math trick?
Yeah.
It's a trick, but still pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And
9-year-old
Randy
kid or something.
Moss took the challenge and failed miserably.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that?
No.
Yeah. He brought his kid on press conference, interview stage, whatever you want to call that thing, and the kid's like 9 years old or something, and give me two numbers between 90 and 100, and he'll multiply them and give you the answer. So somebody says 93 and 97. Kid puts them together.
really?
90-21.
Yeah.
That's the trick, though, is that it's always going to be 90,
Right.
and then the next two numbers times each other.
Oh,
That's the trick, but a lot of people don't know the trick.
Right. But
Either
a
way,
9-year-old boy does.
9-year-old boy does.
Well, Fitzpatrick went to Harvard.
Fitzpatrick also scored a 45 on his Wonderlic.
He's a smart guy.
Yeah.
So his kid's probably going to be smart too.
You would think.
Yeah. Probably an attorney or a doctor, not a football player.
Who knows?
Who's to say?
Who's to say? I think his wife was a volleyball player, so maybe they've got the athleticism in their genes. Ryan Fitzpatrick may be our era's Archie Manning.
Okay. I was
Why
thinking.
not?
Well, I was thinking more like Ultimate Man family, like because they're smart and athletic.
Like the Mannings, other than Eli.
Well, no.
Eli scored a freaking 38 on his Wonderlic, so he's not stupid. He just doesn't care about
No,
things.
I just mean more like Captain America or like Ultraman, not the Mannings, where they're Ultra Football Men. Ultraman,
All right.
good at all things. Maybe he's really a good cook too. Is Archie Manning a good cook? You don't fucking know, because he's probably not.
I know that when they make breakfast, if Eli drops the eggs, they check to pancakes.
With bananas on them.
Who knows? It's the South. It's a twisted place. Anyway, on to grimmer news. It looks like Reggie Wayne is on the 60% going to retire.
Yeah. Yeah. That is not...
A very big surprise to me.
Really?
Well, his answers are everything either was, I'm 36, man, and then something about his kids. And it's like, 36 and you got kids, and it's 36 is... You're up there.
You think that's why he hasn't been throwing the ball that much?
He's been doing okay.
I don't think
With
so.
the
Last few
with
weeks,
the
not so
amount of
much.
guys they have to throw to,
Yeah.
he does okay.
He's got like 3 or
He's
4
okay.
touches on the season.
Yeah.
He's not his top career year, but...
He's 36, man.
He's 36, man. He's got kids and stuff.
That's true. I traded
He's
him
probably
for...
just hanging around. I would have thought he was going to stick around long enough to just pass everybody but Rice, but that's not going to happen.
No, I don't see that happening at all.
Especially with Moncrief. Moncrief's taking that number 2
Okay,
job.
Moncrief!
That's happening.
Yeah.
That guy's going to be the number 2 receiver. And they do 2 tight end sets. So, yeah. Yeah, he's 36, man.
And he's got kids!
He's got kids.
What does that have to do with anything?
I don't know.
Guys is doing
I'm
stuff.
not surprised
Brian
about that
Fitzpatrick has a kid, apparently.
And he's got
Smart
time
as
to
hell.
throw 6 touchdowns and teach him math tricks.
Had that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, rub that in your face, Reggie Wayne. Fitzpatrick's got your number.
So NFL.com, Chris Westerling, among other websites, and I won't get into how many, but is it the end of the era of the running quarterback?
Already?
Wait a second, wasn't it last year that the pocket quarterback was done for forever?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, what happens is these guys are all jackholes and they got nothing to talk about. It's always been the guy who's good at stuff and scoring touchdowns gets to play. Mm-hmm. If he runs them in sometimes and throws them less, even Alex Smith last year only threw for 3,500 yards but ran for 700. So if that 4,000 yards, if you're getting 4,000 yards, depending on how you do it, you're going to be just fine.
Sure.
But Tom Brady has probably a ton of rushing yards too. I mean, he's been a pocket passer.
Does he?
Quarterback sneak?
You get 3 yards a whack on those
that.
things.
I mean,
I have never seen that guy run past the line of scrimmage on in the open field. Whoa, no.
Okay, maybe Phillip Rivers is a better example.
He's 4'2" and weighs $180.
I think Rivers just throws it straight down the second there's no one to throw to. He doesn't run around out there and get first downs.
I don't know.
Maybe he does here, and I don't know.
Defenses just break down, and there's places to run, and there's quarterbacks that run.
That can do it, yeah.
Tom Brady is not one of those.
Well, okay, maybe that was a bad example.
It's a bad example.
The sneaky wheels of Tom Brady. They'll catch you. Yeah. You won't see him coming, because you never have.
Right.
Lastly, of the things that I find notable before we get into it, NFL.com is just showing commercials now. You don't even know, normally you have a video, it shows a commercial, you expect that. If you're going to read a story, they show you a commercial, and then the screen just appears, and you can go on reading it. But they play the commercial in its entirety, no matter what. There's no skipping the ads now. NFL.com now just shows commercials in their entirety.
Why is that?
Bullshit.
So they can get more money than they already have.
I would assume that NFL.com is owned by the NFL.
Yes, absolutely. So is NFL Network.
Which does one thing.
Get money.
Well, no, it promotes...
That's the one thing.
It promotes the league.
Yes.
Do you think that the big money, that they could be making more money on making their fans happy and promoting the league and you should be a part of this. Here's all these cool things that you could be doing that don't piss you off.
Well, apparently...
And buy tickets and jerseys and shit. Or selling ads. Look, I do a little bit about selling ads. It pays dick.
Well, or you're how many jerseys would we have to sell to pay for a Snickers ad?
It pays bad.
Not very many.
Really?
Not very many at all.
So that's what the thing is. It pays bad if they skip the commercial on YouTube or whatever. There is no option. The commercials are played in their entirety.
No, that's bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. It's not they're getting money. That whoever's in charge of NFL.com is a dipshit. I mean that. I don't care if it's Goodell or Fred Armistensson. The web guy, the social media guy that they found in freaking West Hollywood or whatever. He sucks. They can't be making any money off those goddamn ads.
They make money off everything. They're charging... Who is it that's doing the Super Bowl halftime show?
Katy Perry.
Yeah, she's going to pay $2 million to do it.
Really?
She's paying $2 million
oh my God.
to sing and dance for 5 minutes.
Now that makes sense to me.
She got fleeced.
So they made an option this year that you either pay them X amount or you give a percentage of the subsequent tour money and album money for the next 2 years.
Could you imagine if they had that when Prince was on there and they were like, so Prince, you gonna pay or what?
No, he wouldn't.
No!
Oh, no.
Are you gonna suck it or what?
Yeah.
What's on now as well that all of a sudden the network can't choose their own entertainment. It's the network pays you already so many million to have that show. Now you're telling them how they have to do it.
God damn it.
Glass House, man.
Just play football.
Coming down. Just play the football.
Yeah.
What's the news?
The news is...
He got off NFL.com, so there's only
Oh, shit, it's all commercials.
It's all commercials.
So we all know about the St. Louis Rams stick-em-up business.
Yeah.
I'm not really here to discuss opinions on whether that's okay or not. I will say that a couple of things here, that the St. Louis Police Officers Association called the gestures tasteless, offensive, and inflammatory, and demanded the players should be punished. So it's been all over the news, and all social media and whatever. Kind of a big deal. Well, Jon Stewart brought it up the other night, on Tuesday actually, and this is what he had to say. So the St. Louis Police Association is angry and outraged to be caught in this hail of gestures and feels that the community won't get past this tragic pantomime unless someone is held accountable. Then he went on to say, right after that, but I want to know, when did Nick Nolte take over the Rams? Have a picture. Nick Nolte.
I don't think Jeff Fisher looks very much like Nick Nolte.
Let's see if this works out. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. They both got poopy faces. I thought that was kind of funny. Yeah. So, there you go. There's your news about the conspiracy. Whatever you want to call it. The controversy going on in St. Louis. The controversy is not that they were terrible.
They're not terrible.
I don't know.
They beat the Rams or the Raiders 50-0.
They beat the Broncos.
That's terrible.
They did beat the Broncos.
They did beat the Broncos. They're not terrible. They just don't have a quarterback. Sean Hill's okay. They're not terrible.
I pass judgment. For the 8th year in a row, Texas receiver Andre Johnson talked about this last year. Made a charitable donation to a foundation for at-risk kids to an 80-second shopping spree at Toys R Us. This year, 11 kids got $16,266 in toys.
Whoa.
From Andre Johnson.
Sweet.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
That is cool.
What do you think kids get? Okay, so you got 11 kids.
Like how old?
Kids age.
8?
I don't know.
14?
What are kids?
I don't know.
So they all have.
0
they
to
all
18?
get about what? What is that? Like $1,200, $1,300, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
16,000 divided by 11.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there. Okay, so you get an Xbox and you get a PlayStation. That's $800. Then what? I guess that takes out a pretty big chunk. Well, why not? That's where they all go. That's where you maximize your dollar at Toys R Us. Your bikes are expensive. You can get a bike there.
Yeah.
Or do you think they just go down the Lego aisle and just go?
It depends on how old
you
they
couldn't
are.
go too far down the Lego aisle before you spent $1,100.
Yeah, I think that's how you maximize your dollar at Toys R Us. Like, you go to the games and stuff, you're going to get those games. The Legos are expensive. Nobody wants to buy Legos. It's like $300 for anything.
Yeah.
Mow that row down. I bet you I could pick up about $8,000 or $9,000 in Legos real fast. Because I'd get all the big expensive ones over and over and over again, and then I'd sell them. Why not?
Yeah.
Fuck Andre Johnson. I'm at risk, bitch!
You're going to dress up like a kid.
It's just is going to be outside of Toys R Us stealing all the toys from the kids.
Yeah.
That's the news. It was a really boring week.
Yeah.
In interesting news.
Speaking of more bad surprises.
Yeah, bad surprise. That's all I brought to the table this week. I can talk about... no, I can't talk about anything. Oh, Ray Rice. Ray Rice, he's eligible.
Yeah. Eligible. The most eligible running bachelor.
I mean, not.
Yeah.
You think he's going to get a job?
If he hasn't...
Yeah.
If the Colts haven't pulled the trigger, nobody's going to.
What? There's got to be somebody.
Atlanta might think of... No, if...
The Raiders? I mean, they might
the
as
Raiders
well.
have got multitude of
deep.
running backs.
Yeah, they're deep.
They're deep.
It doesn't matter. That's how they roll.
All right.
MJD, Darren McFadden, might as well throw Ray Rice in there.
Yeah, why not? I bet... Yeah, there's... If he hasn't gotten a job... If he hasn't gotten a bite yet, it's not going to be till next season.
Well, that's not really a bad surprise.
Oh.
But I do have some bad surprises,
Oh, do
though.
you?
Yeah, I do.
Alright.
Yeah, so this is going to be the fantasy football edition of bad surprises.
All right.
Since it is the playoffs in probably most fantasy leagues, and I know ours.
I am in the playoffs.
Justin is in the playoffs.
In one league.
That's a bad surprise.
That's an interesting surprise.
It was 50% this year.
By drafting from overseas.
Yeah, well, I didn't
made
draft. You know what my
You
starting
didn't
quarterback
draft from
was?
overseas.
Robert Griffin III. Wah, wah. That's a bad surprise.
Yeah, that is. All right, so I got some questions for you guys.
Sure.
So speaking of bad surprises in fantasy football, so who has been the worst surprise on your fantasy team this year?
Jason Witten. And I start him every week because I refuse to carry 2 tight ends.
Like, surprise, this guy stinks.
Yeah.
Oh, Percy Harvin. Absolutely
Yeah.
Percy Harvin.
You're surprised by that guy.
I think a lot of people are surprised. That guy's terrible.
Kinda.
Every year, people
year.
go, huh, Percy Harvin sucks. For fantasy. He
How
doesn't
did-
play football.
Yeah. How did he get so trumped up?
I don't know, man. Have you ever seen that guy play?
No.
I don't think I have either.
He
He hasn't
runs
played for a year and a half, at least.
like once every 2 years. He runs past everybody stupendously, and then
One time.
everybody's back on board.
It's like Cordero Patterson. Like, he's fast. He's got to be good. No, he's not good. Not. Anyway.
Percy Harvin is the only keep throughout the entire year that I've had.
That-
That sucks. I mean, I got guys
Oh.
like Demaryius Thomas and stuff that are like, oh my god, that guy's amazing. Oh, Andre Ellington was another like, oh, bummer. But I don't know if that's really
He just
his
got
fault.
hurt.
Yeah, he just got hit.
Yeah.
Hurt.
I do have another bad surprise, and it was one that I've suffered for the first time. Boy, you know, the 16th round of a draft, you're sitting there like, why is Eli Manning still there? There's a reason! There's a reason Eli Manning's still there, because he's going to score 70 on your bench, and he's going to get 6 for you every time you put him in. There's no way to predict it. He'll throw for 5 touchdowns against Seattle, and he'll throw for 8 interceptions against the freaking Raiders.
You have got the toughest combo that could ever exist: Tony Romo or Eli Manning.
And Romo, up until this year, had been automatic, but he's got
every
broken
now and
back
then,
and broken
every
ribs.
3 games, Romo throws a stinker, which is the other way with Eli Manning.
He's got 70 on my bench.
Yeah,
right.
every 3 games, Eli Manning goes bananas. Mm-hmm. And it's always the week like, oh, should I do it? Should I do it? Oh, Tony Romo, -6.
I thankfully, because I did it twice this year. I was like, oh, there's Eli Manning again. I'll get him. And unfortunately, I've had Matt Ryan, who's on a down year, but I'll just take his consistently mediocre over Eli Manning's inconsistency any day of the week.
Yeah. I would have rather had Eli Manning than RG3.
Yeah, probably.
Sure. At least there's points maybe to be had there.
If you had to start him every week, there's those 6 weeks that he really brings it home for you.
Dude, I will take his 6 points over RG3's none points.
Exactly. Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah, so he might not even play the rest of this year.
Who, Ellie or RG3?
RG3.
Oh, no, he's not playing for the rest of the year. Are you nuts?
He's probably not going to be a Redskin.
No.
I don't know who is going to be a Redskin. I mean, coaching, anybody. Who's going to be a Redskin next year?
I don't know.
Who knows?
Only Dan Snyder.
Ryan Kerrigan,
Right.
probably, and that's about it.
Dan Snyder versus the New York Football Giants.
Eli throws 7 picks to Dan Snyder, sitting in a
The week
recliner.
that Sam starts him.
Yeah.
Eli versus Dan Snyder. There's no way! I gotta start Eli!
This is a honey of a matchup.
The week Dan Schneider scores more points than
Yeah.
Eli Manning.
It's like Mike Ditka out there. Ditka versus the Hurricane.
So I had a couple. It was mine were Ben Tate
Sure.
and Doug Martin.
Oh, Doug Martin. He's a heartbreaker, huh?
Yeah, he is. Another question for you: what player have you started every week? Kind of always on the bandwagon, but never lived up to expectation.
Justin Forsett.
Huh.
He's had some decent weeks, but I was looking at him like he was going to be a premier running back, like a Ray Rice or an MJD, like fantasy gold, and just kind of average for the system that they're in and the supporting cast that he's got. Thought he was money, and he's pulled me through. I mean, he's good for 10 every week.
He's nailed down the starting job.
Yeah.
That's
But he never had one of those oh my god weeks this year.
Yeah, mine was Mike Wallace.
Yeah.
I'm done with him. He's fantasy garbage to me.
I would have said
from now until ever.
I would have said LaShawn McCoy, but he's really turned it on in the last half of the season, and I have no regrets taking him first overall with what he's done the last several weeks.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
All right, a couple in the Cosmo Cup. So this is specifically for the Cosmo Cup, the league that we're all in. I was kind of looking at some total points scored this year. Of the top 10, how do you think that breaks down?
Like, you mean
as far as
people or
positions, people?
Oh, top 10?
Yeah. So the top 10, there's 8 quarterbacks in the top 10.
Yeah.
And 2 defenses.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Crazy.
Philadelphia
and Buffalo.
I have Buffalo in another league.
Good.
DeMarco Murray was number 11, but just missed the top 10.
Huh.
No running backs.
Oh, damn.
Well, until he went bananas last night, so.
This was like
It was garbage
half an hour
time,
ago.
but it still
Bananas.
counts. Yeah, still counts. Garbage time.
And then if you take that to the top 20, 14 quarterbacks, 5 defenses, and 1 running back.
And DeMarco Murray. Holy
Murray.
shit!
Yeah, crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty bad surprise.
Yeah. I think Arian Foster, had he stayed healthy, would have been in that top 20. But he's missed 4 or 5 games already, so.
I think next year in the fantasy league, I think we should just get rid of tight ends, get rid of running backs, or at least have like 4 spots for quarterbacks, maybe
4 spots for quarterbacks.
or 2 quarterbacks and 2 flexes or something.
And if your starting quarterback throws an interception to your starting defense and they get a touchdown, it's touchdown for both. Yeah. He's throwing touchdowns.
Hey.
All right, that's all I have for bad surprise.
All right. Well, this week, under the bus, Trent Richardson finally got.
Oh, no. Who?
You're doing it? Yeah, exactly.
Who's that guy?
Yeah, everybody else threw mine. Finally giving up. Throwing in the towel. Dan
You were holding on this long.
Holding on hope this long. You like the Colts, you gotta stand by your man or whatever the hell it is you're doing with that guy. Apparently, everybody else that you suit up and put in at running back will have a better game than this guy splitting time with him. You know, I still think that they really broadcast the T-Rich up the middle so much that he's getting met in the backfield. It's awful that he does get, like, half of his plays are just, like, they've just thrown him under. He's just in the garbage can before he can do anything with the ball. But he has lost massive support, even the last guy, me. This week, driving the bus,
right, folks. The last
Trent Richardson driving the bus. Because this week he's playing his old team, the Cleveland Browns, and he can unbreak my heart this week. He's back in the saddle. He's got everybody to prove wrong. His old team, his current team. The guy that's running better than him, Boom Herron, who's fumbling and still getting to play. Like, nobody else on the Colts does that because they're like, well, T-Rich just isn't getting the yards. I think they could use him better. If you watched him at Alabama, he caught a lot of stuff out of the backfield. They don't throw him the ball that much. But, you know, this week we decide.
T-Rich, you lost your last fan. You better get
unless
him
you
back
do better, then I'll
unless you unbreak his heart.
Yes.
Is that Celine Dion?
I believe it is.
No, it's Toni Braxton.
Is it Toni Braxton?
Yeah.
All right.
Trent Richardson's favorite female R&B artist.
I doubt
just so
it.
you know.
I doubt that.
All right, I Tiki Barber that one, but
Yeah.
I bet you'd rather have Tiki Barber on your team right now.
Tiki Barber was the last time that I had a consistent, like, I would take him in the first round because I knew I'd get him because he was like that top-end second-round guy that you're like, oh, screw it, I'm just going to take Tiki Barber. I'm in the middle of the first round. I'll get a running back to score 15 a week, and I don't care. Tiki Barber.
He will tell me lies, but score me points.
Exactly. Fantasy football is a game of one truth. Points!
Don't need to unbreak your heart with him.
No. I don't care if he's living in somebody's attic with a mistress and got fired from NBC. He was still a hell of a fantasy football player. So, super awesome, not so super awesome.
Okay, I've got actually 2 super awesomes this week and 1 not so super awesome. Let me get the teleprompter back. So the super awesome number 1, Arian Foster's British accent during the interview with media.
I did not hear about
I didn't hear that either.
Oh boy.
So he just did a silly British accent the whole time he's talking to the media. And you know what I say?
Straight-faced.
Bully on you, buddy.
Yeah.
Bob's your uncle. Because, you know what? Being forced to talk to the media is fucking bullshit. Marshawn Lynch gets a $100,000 fine every time he doesn't want to talk to some asshole reporter. It's not his fucking job. You know what his job is? It's to score touchdowns. Tiki Barber scored touchdowns, and then he talked to the media, and then look what happened. He ended up in the attic with some lady. I didn't want. What was that?
Well, after he got fired, he left his wife for one of the production assistants, and he was hiding out in somebody's attic with her.
Seriously?
Yeah, and his wife was
gosh.
pregnant at the time. It was a real bad deal.
No, there's no penalty for being an asshole to the media. You just have to show up
You just
and
have
talk
to show
them
up,
and
yeah.
talk to them in a British accent.
Or have your kids beat them at math problems.
God damn it!
That's way
That's
better.
how to-
Everybody should do that.
Dodge
I would
Instead of
dodging the questions, like, oh yeah, watch my kid do math, and then exit stage left.
That's so dumb. $100,000 fine for not showing up, but everybody else could be an asshole, and it's okay. So, also, speaking of the other side of the pond, on some YouTube channel, I didn't find out these details, but this YouTube channel made a couple of their Irish buddies who had never ever seen anything of American football ever watch the American football last night. The Bears,
Cowboys and the Bears.
Cowboys.
That'll get them hooked.
Debacle. Well, they got pretty confused about the game, which we could understand that it doesn't make any sense and it's not for them. We shouldn't have to force it on them. Goodell, talking to you again. If they don't like it, they don't have to. But they mostly just commented upon how sad Jay Cutler looks at all times. His poopy face. He said that he is the saddest looking professional athlete that they've ever seen. Not sad in his quality of play, which wasn't good, but sad as in, like, your dog just died sad. Perennially sad looking.
Speaking of something that you've watched and doesn't make any sense, you guys ever seen Australian football?
Yeah, it's not rugby, nor is it football.
Mind-boggling. I have no idea. It's so weird. Chelsea showed it to me. I'm like, what is this? What's going on here? It's so weird.
Well, the not so super awesome Rob Gronkowski, to be a goofball, put on during practice, got out the white tape and changed his number on the back of his practice jersey to 69.
Hey, bro, check me out.
What a douche. So I listened to a podcast today. It was, to plug a friend, it was Jeff and Tucker's If We Made It podcast, and they were talking about Ernest Saves Christmas. And the cab number that Ernest gets into to pick up Santa is 69. Guess what, Rob Gronkowski? Ernest told that joke, and it wasn't fucking funny then, asshole. What the fuck, dude? What a douche. Hey, guys, this means my wiener's in her mouth, and her mouth's in my face, and whatever.
I don't even know how to do it.
However
It's funny.
works. It's like this, I don't know.
Now, the only time that joke's funny is if somebody doesn't get it. You're actually just like, wow, where have you been forever?
Yeah,
because that happened at our high school when I was playing football. Somebody painted 69 all over the paint room, and the shop teacher busts in on the football team. And he's like, "Who the hell is number 69?" And we're just like, "Oh my god, yeah, it's one of us."
This is some bad self-promotion here.
And the head coach is like, to the defensive coordinator, Ed Ricker's like, well, I don't know, Ed. Do we have a number 69? And Ed's just going like this. I don't think we do. We didn't have one because nobody has the brass ones to actually wear that number.
Except for
Nor do
Rob
you actually
Gronkowski.
purchase. You never buy that number of the jersey. Like, you can't do it because somebody will wear it. Like, oh, I'm it. They're like, no, you're not. No, you're not. We're not getting one of those. You can't have that number.
Well,
Don't be
there
that
you go. Rob Gronkowski still thinks it's super
That's
funny.
really not funny.
No. Like, my God, man. But there you have it. That's why it's not so super awesome.
Well, on that note, the show is over.